Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Ask Dr. Zaino Live. Thank you so much for being here live and on time. You are watching live from chirothoughtleaders.com/ask-dr-Zaino. And if you're here with us, you'll scroll down below the video. Of course, you see our social media buttons there. Go ahead and hit them, like them, share them. And then right below that, where everybody's posting their questions, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, anything that you want Dr. Zaino to touch on today, please write it in that live chat. I also appreciate you who have emailed those in prior. That's always a viable option as well. So we're going to get right into asking the questions and getting right into going. Is that all right, Dr. Zaino?
Oh, yeah, it's great, man. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, here we go. First one. I love the dinner program, exclamation point. My question is, what's the best/fastest way to grow my list from scratch? I have very few contacts because I've just opened my office.
Perfect. Okay, so I would get some drop boxes. Go to dropbox.com, and just win a free dinner, and just put those little things and just put them everywhere you can. And the great way you can put them, say, listen, it could be a tanning bed place, a vitamin shop, whatever. Say, listen, if you allow us to put it in here, then ask them for some coupons for their office. So if I went to the what do you call it? Relax the Back store, right?
Right.
Like, hey, listen, do you have some coupons or anything or literature I could give my patients? So then, okay, then can I put my box here? So you do that little swap. And so I always, when I first started practice, I had a little folder with a vitamin shop coupon, a tanning bed, a free tanning. I mean, wherever would take it, tanning bed, vitamin shop coupon, HEB, just every place that would allow me to put the Dropbox in, I would swap to say, listen, I'll promote your office or thing of business. And then those Dropbox and then after your first dinner, man, you're going to have leads, right? You do the leads and it'll start snowballing and getting bigger and bigger. And also, I would definitely invest with Chris Burfield and do the Facebook, use Facebook. See, I didn't have to remember there's no Facebook.
Yep.
There was no Facebook 10 years ago, right? So, or 11, so I didn't have that. So you got Facebook, which is free marketing and advertising. And if you do want to get an ad, you could put in, like, you could start with $10 a day and then your surrounding area. Right now with Chris, I think I do $50 a day and I'll probably go up to 100, just because I'm putting the, I have a crazy goal that I want to do. So, but yeah, you could put whatever you want. So $10 a day, it's easy. You could definitely do that. And then you'll get those people in. So a lot of the people come from the dinners, from Facebook rather, and then your dinners, you're recycling it, and you have more than enough new patients in your office to always get them on board and bring dinner. Because remember when we started our offices and our clientele was smaller, when I had a smaller clientele, we really had a family feel. Yep. Like the 5 patients I had my first month, we almost felt like we were all in a startup business together. And they were really doing, I almost had more referrals in the beginning of my practice because it was like a grassroots startup. Everybody wanted to promote and they all worked for each other. So I really think the people you have will be more than enough to get 10 to 30 people in your dinners.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that you can get resourceful in looking for, other connections where they might have a list that you could use as well. If you know other business owners, if you know anybody in that area that has an email, even personal, and ask them if they can shoot out an email. I actually found a company that has email addresses. This was when I opened the Tomball office, and I don't know the name of the company right off the bat. I'd have to look it up, but you could probably Google it, and they sell email addresses based on your zip code, and they're random, and you're probably not going to get a great open rate. But you could email those. You could get that kind of resourceful. And when I started my office, the main office, my family was from Houston. I'd never been to Houston. I didn't know a soul, but my wife's family, was from Houston. And so we asked them to contact their friends and their relatives. And basically we had our first dinner with my wife's parents and all of their friends and relatives. It's celebrating our opening of our office. But that put about 10 grand in our bank account on the first day as soon as we opened the door. Because they were very warm leads, they were friends and family. So you just got to keep pushing and think about all the things that you can do,
No, that's right.
Awesome. Now I'm going to throw one of the questions in here with they're great dinner questions. Hold on just a second. Hey, Dr. Z. Okay, yeah. So this one I think we answered last week, but what are your thoughts on doing dinners in December? But I'll couple that with the question that says, on nights of your dinners, does your staff stay until the very last person has left the dinner? Sometimes we have guests that stay around and talk for 1 to 2 hours after. How do you approach that? And I feel terrible when my staff has to be there too late.
Good. Okay, two things. First one, do you do dinners in December? Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing. And, you know, that kind of ties into what I'll share with you guys later. And that person who asked that would definitely benefit from what I'll offer later. But, of course, I mean, January starts now, guys. And this is the time of opportunity, because most people and most businesses are backing off. They think, oh, it's the holidays. But in reality, this is the time of the year where people spend more. They're in the spending spirit. They're going to want to do things. They know that a New Year's resolution, they're in. It's just a belief system. So yeah, I got 3 dinners this month. Yeah, and then I'm pumping, I'm pushing it as much as I can. Yeah, December is huge. I would do as many. We got talks, screenings, and a couple. I even started holiday. What we do started in November. We started doing holiday house parties with the docs. So it's really your dinner talk at someone's house or work. And then you say it's holiday house party. It's the same thing. It's just the dinner. And now we're starting to book quite a bit of offices and homes now. So of course, like, I mean, December is always huge for us. It really is. Last year was the only year it went down. Yeah, last year out of my 11, this is my 11th year. Last year was the only reason it went down, and I have my reasons, and I know exactly why, and that's a whole other show. But yeah, there's no December's the best. I mean, it's great. I mean, I had a dinner this Monday. We got 45 new patients came in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Wow.
So that's 45 new patients, and you know, and the magic number is 100, guys. Just to let you know, you can take all your metrics and shove them down the toilet. And and people might hate me for this, but I'm telling you, you want a good metric, it's 100 new patients a month. You get 100 new patients a month, all of your problems are solved. You're not needy. I don't care if your conversions are 30%. It doesn't matter. It's like 100 new patients a month will solve all problems. So imagine if you did a dinner and got 45 new patients, and then I got a dinner this coming up Monday, and then I get another dinner. You know, I'm easily on track for 150, 150 new patient month. And then it's great. Then you get to go in. Tabor, weren't your dinners more festive and fun? Like, for some reason, everybody has that Christmas spirit now.
Yeah.
And those dinners are fun. They're great.
Absolutely. Yeah. We even call it the Christmas party dinner, you know, and on our emails that we send out. And then more people are excited about coming to that dinner.
Remember, like Monica used to say, you're just reframing something. So you could take a picture of Tabor and you could put a heart frame around him, and that gives one type of feeling, or you could put a frame made out of like marijuana leaves, and that's going to give an entire other feeling. Literally. Yeah. None of them matches character, actually. So, but you know what I mean? So you're just reframing it. Tabor did a great job of that. He reframed his dynamic dinner. Holiday talk, Christmas. Oh yeah, have fun with it. Get resourceful. Change. You know, you could change it up by just changing how you reframe it. And as far as the staff goes, when the staff are only there, guys, to greet them, love on them, and sign them up. Once the last appointment is made, your staff leaves the place. Let those people enjoy the dinner. Trust me, it's a restaurant. They're going to be okay without your staff. Yeah. The restaurant is like people hang out at restaurants. Like, your staff they're not babysitters. They're there to do it. I don't eat there. I don't eat there. You know, why would I don't want to eat there. So I'm done. I walk out, the staff does their job. And as soon as the staff is there to help people make a decision, help people better their lives by making the decision to make an appointment. So that's what they're there for. They're not there to make sure they swallowed and digested their food correctly, you know. So
it's good.
Yeah, send them home. Yeah, protect your staff.
I like it. All right, so we got some more good questions here. Hey, Dr. Z, Dr. Tabor, thank you so much for doing what you guys do here. It is unbelievable information. Awesome. I have a few questions here tonight. Number one, If a patient is late to an initial consult / new patient appointment, how is this handled? Is it different than if they call as compared to just showing up late?
I take them, Tabor. What do you do?
I take them. Yeah, we just keep going with it. So
Because I'm sure they, I mean, for whatever reason,
yeah.
and I know sometimes, and he's probably referring to like the shift ends at 10 and they come in at like 10:05. You
Yeah.
get to stay longer. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
some people are just delirious. They're like, oh, was it 10? It's because you know what? They're probably on 7 medications. You understand?
Right.
Some people are, but yeah, of course you take it, and they're more likely they're apologetic, and yeah, just do it.
Yep.
And it's gonna, yeah. And don't jip it either.
Right. Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, I'll give them the 10:01 new patient. No, just
Right.
do it. I
Yep.
mean,
I agree. Yeah, we do it. We try to. I don't even know about it. Most of the time, staff just lets me know when they're there.
staff gets more pissed off about it than you do,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it's 10, because it's like, hey, because and then also I think, Tabor, what helps is because we kind of have openness with adjusting.
Right. Open
Like
hours.
we don't have people. Yeah, we don't have people at a certain specific time to get adjusted. So we're kind of, if they came in at 9:30 or 9:30,
Yeah.
we're efficient.
Yep. I always tell them early or late, I just can't treat you over the phone.
There you go. Nice.
All right. Second question. At the end of our day one, we let the patient know that we will be verifying insurance information and going over that with them on the day of their doctor's report. Lately, we've had people leave the office after that visit, call their insurance company, find out that we are out of network, and call to cancel their DR. Any suggestions on this?
Yeah, we got two options here. I know the obvious answer is the insurance and money answer, but the truth is money and price is never the objection. There is something in there that they felt that you weren't the solution, because if they felt that you were truly the solution and you were different and you were going to be able to help them, they would pay cash. They wouldn't care about their insurance, which they do. Just think of all the money those people, that lady, whoever, spends on stuff that their insurance doesn't pay for. So it's one of those questions: what don't you trust or believe about me, the doctor, or the systems of the office, or do you not trust your ability to make a right decision? Meaning that the patient may not trust themselves to be able to make a right decision, and that stems from an anchor. Maybe in the past they made a decision and it hurt them. It has nothing to do with you, I promise, if it's this reason. So maybe they made a bad decision, and they base every decision that they made a bad decision. And when in reality, I'm sure they made plenty of great decisions. So I feel that when it's an insurance, you just say, listen, you let them know, hey, listen, I tell them this network, this office, even the other night at the dinner, someone asked me on the side, I'm like, we are an out of network office, but when we will actually verify your insurance after we do the exam so we can see what's going on. And we do it for you because there's very specific certain questions that we ask that you may not be able to ask or get that information from your insurance company. So you allow us to do that, and we'll be able to tell you everything that's going on in your doctor's report. So and it really is. And sometimes I go into it's like, what if they do have bone spurs? Bone spurs, what if they do have ligament damage? What if they do have, other stuff going on? It's all, you got to do the exams to see what's out there. And so that lady automatically going to call her insurance company. She's almost, I don't want to say, I used to think she's looking for a way out. She's not. She's looking for somebody else to pay for it because she doesn't value enough to pay for it. So, here I have a book, I got a book, and I paid, what did I pay? Oh, here it is. I paid $26.99 for the book. Okay, because the reason why I paid $26.99 for the book is because I believe it's worth more than $26.99. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that, but really, what is this book? This book is a bunch of paper with a bunch of print on it. So really the book, and Tabor knows, Tabor Smith produces his own book. So how much does a book honestly cost, Tabor, just with the print to print it? Like
$3.
Okay, $3 per example. So when Tabor wrote a book, the book costs $3, but Tabor's wisdom, knowledge, story, experience, that's what you're buying, right? You follow what I'm saying? So this book is worth more than $27 to me because I'm learning from someone who spent their entire life putting their wisdom and knowledge in here. So It's the value. See, I value this more than what I paid for it. So the same thing with a patient. You know, people buy cars that are way more expensive than your care plans. People buy homes that are way more expensive than your care plans. People spend money if they took a log on things like Starbucks. Every time I look at Starbucks, it's a wonderful reminder that people spend money on things that add up to be more than your care plan. 10 years from now, a $3,000 care plan really doesn't make a difference. They're wasting that on bubble gum and cigarettes, right? So it comes down to, did you build enough value? Does the person feel that they trust you? And then are they confident that your office is the solution to solve their problem? If they know you could help solve their problem, then you could, the price never, if someone says it's the price or the insurance, then you didn't get to an objection. So what I would urge all of you to do, when you hear a price objection or this, I want to talk to my insurance company, then you just let them know, hey, listen, ma'am, I'm using it if it's a lady, ma'am, was your insurance covering this or not? Was that the only thing that was going to hold you back from getting care in our office? Like, you want to isolate the objection. Like, ma'am, was if your insurance company covering this or not, was that the only objection or the only thing that was going to prevent you from taking care of your health and changing your life? Because I'm sure she had all these problems going on. And she would be like, and then she would either say yes, or she would say there's other objections. And then you could be honest, be like, because I would automatically believe that it's not going to work. So I would just say, hey, listen, I'm just curious, what other, why didn't you continue at our office besides your insurance? It had to be more than your insurance,
Right.
And then just actually use that negative quote unquote failure as a learning lesson to really find out what you missed. So there was an objection in there. It's never the price, guys. It never is. And I'll just close with this. And Taylor could add, my X-ray tech, he went to a nutritionist and spent my X-ray tech. So I knew what he was getting paid part-time. This was a couple years ago. He spent $6,500 one-time payment for some nutritional dude, some chiropractor who did the nutritional stuff, does blood work and testing and gives you a bunch of standard process vitamins, $6,500. And he turned it in to see if we would reimburse it just in case, because I showed Whitney, I'm like, our X-ray tech, who we know what he makes, because he thought this would help his problem, spent $6,500 one-time payment for this freaking thing.
Wow.
And so it was such a learning lesson to us, being like, wow, like, people have it. It just, do they value it and do they feel it'll solve their problem? He felt it would solve his problem.
That's good.
And it didn't, but
Yep. Good answer. And I don't think there's anything I can add. I actually don't get a whole lot of people who don't come back because of insurance, but
once in a blue moon, sometimes sometimes it is when we get that, it's not from the dinner. Because see, when I do the dinner, the dynamic dinner, that's not even crossing their mind, because they want to be led by me. They're like, this is, we got a connection. When I get that, Tabor, if any, if like someone
Googled you.
Googled you. Yeah, dude, online. It was online Google. It was a Groupon, not even a Groupon. At least they wanted the free massage. We don't do this anymore. But you're right. It was internet. Found you on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the type, who.
Awesome. So one more question. So from same guy. So I coach with Dr. Fred, and in that system, the new patient day one appointments are approximately 30 minutes. My question is that if you're a one doctor show, would you recommend allotting specific days and times for new patient exams day one? If so, what days and times? And I've coached with Dr. Fred, and that was one thing I kind of tweaked as my day one, because his does take a while. So.
No, I agree with Tabor. I would do them at the beginning and the end of the shift.
Yeah. And, we have in my office, and I just did this because it's what I felt I should do in my office, is we have what we call exam mode. And that's when we have a lot of new patients in the office, and we also have a lot of people that are getting adjusted, and this was when I didn't have my associate, so it was just me. So the CA would come back, she'd be like, Dr. Tabor, we're in exam mode. And that means like I'm hustling, like, and I'm not not jacking around at the table. I'm not having any conversations, which I probably shouldn't do at all anyway. And then when I get in the exam, I show them the principle, I take their x-rays, and I try to make that connection with them just a little bit. I want them to feel loved and appreciated in my office. And then I get to the next one. But in exam mode, I'm going fast. And whenever we're not in exam mode, I'm going, which is pretty fast for most chiropractors anyway, but it's my normal pace. So.
But it always should be exam mode, Tabor.
I know it's exam mode is hustle. So
yeah, just like I run between my tables. I really do.
Love it.
Like people like, why? I'm like, because it just keeps the energy up, and why not run? I mean, why do we got to walk? Yeah, I would do that. Dr. Fred's stuff is so awesome.
It is, man. It works.
And that's why I'm just shying away from even answering on that one, because when it comes to a coach, listen, you guys, you want to really mess yourself up, listen to 5 different people.
Right.
That'll mess you up. Like Dr. Fred's system was specific to that.
Yeah.
So the equation, we don't want to change the recipe.
No.
So that'd be a good question for Dr. Fred. I mean, Tabor and I, of course, we admit we hybrid some stuff. I mean, hybrid, right? So
yeah.
I mean, we get a little hodgepodge of a little bit of everything. And
yeah, I'm guilty. I admit to it. All right, so this one's a good one. What are both of you looking for in a new hire, associate doctor, as someone you want to keep long term, or potentially help them open their own practice down the road?
Both.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, how do I, both. That's like, but there's it's like I would reverse it around to that person asking, not the person who asked the question, but there's a lot of stuff the doctor has to be able to improve on skill-wise, improve. You just can't. Dreams are one thing. Dreams without action and proof is delusion. So, like. Some doctors are way better being associates, and some doctors I know immediately. I'll even tell them you're gonna last here 6 months because they're good. So anything, you know what I mean? So 6 months, let's train them up, let's get them excited, and then they start their own thing. But there's some docs that, you protect them. It's like you just play to their strengths, and then you cover and protect their weaknesses. So they become very great, efficient, and wonderful in your office, but then sometimes they leave and they find out, we almost did them a disservice by not fully, because the thing is, and their weaknesses that they were horrible at,
right? We
protected. I took over the marketing, or I did this and that. So when they're on their own, they find themselves going, holy crap.
Yeah.
How come it's not easy? Because, we protected them. So there's
that's been a big mindset shift for me in my associates over this last year, is that I didn't have enough of a learning environment. Like my goal wasn't, I thought they would just come in and maybe I show them once how to do it and then let them run it, and really they don't appreciate that. Like I think what works the best is if I take not only a leadership role, but also role, like my goal is to train them to be an amazing chiropractor. And I'm not bragging and saying that I'm the best chiropractor in the world, but I spend a lot of time training, a lot of time going to seminars and getting certifications. And I'm going to make a curriculum, just like you said, Dr. Zaino, before we even started the show, that you have a curriculum for chiropractors. And my goal is going to be to make that chiropractor the absolute best. If they stay and they want to be a part of, my offices, then that'd be beautiful because they're going to be the best. And if they want to go and start their own practice, then that's beautiful too, because they're going to be able to do that and be successful.
Because when you have a curriculum, it takes all the subjective emotions out of it. It's like, we're literally giving every doctor the answers to the test.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is do that. And then they choose their rewards. I think that's the best option, because then it really becomes, it's not personal. It just, hey, here's the answers. This is what you got to know by this date and this time. And just like we all did in school. And then, if someone can't do it, then, it just, maybe it's not a good fit right then.
Love it. All right, let's see what else we got here. I did my first talk a couple days ago. With using your talk and Dr. Fred's teaching, I did well. I moved the whole room. There were 2 ministers attending also, and with view, God and purpose, even they were motivated or moved and asked me to a meeting outside of the talk. I was nervous the first few minutes, but once my heart flowed, I was fine and talked for over 20 minutes, unprepared, only what I've studied from your dinner talk program and Dr. Fred's communication skills. Thank you very much for your conviction and purpose. Isn't that
Good
awesome?
job.
That's beautiful.
See, now, like he wasn't unprepared. That's, you know what I mean?
She actually.
He wasn't unprepared.
Yeah.
He listened. See, that's the thing. Don't, like he clearly wasn't unprepared. It might have been on the spot, but he wasn't unprepared.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
That's
Well done.
Yeah, good
Beautiful. Let's see here. We got one more question, and then we'll I'll turn it over to you to go over some things.
Yeah.
Are there certain strategies that can make a dynamic dinner successful in a small town of 350? And you know, I think it kind of covered some of that in the first. To that chiropractor's benefit, that he did email that in, so he didn't know that there was a question already. So
I'm just laughing at the mindset there. It's
right.
like, of course, just do the same thing, man. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you.
In fact, you could own that town. You know what I mean?
If you do that dinner with 350 people, you have over half the town in your office of patients. Yeah. And don't say that. Like Singapore saw over 2,000 a week in over 10 years, and he had a tiny town. It was like 1,200 people.
Yep. And you know, usually I'm from a small town in New Mexico, and there's always towns around a small town.
Know. People should try. Yeah, don't. It's just like that. It's just kind of it's just that limited glass ceiling. It's like, come on, man. You know.
Yeah.
If there's 350 people in your town, it doesn't change.
Hey, the main thing is just make sure there's a restaurant in your town. That's all you have to have.
Well, Singapore used to bring people over for chicken and watermelon.
There you go, man. You don't even need a restaurant. You just barbecue at your office.
That's what he did. He had a barbecue. He had a cookout on Sundays with like hundreds and then and if they have a movie theater, I'm sure you have one movie theater. He used to rent out the movie theater.
Wow.
And do a talk in the movie theater. I think he had like 300 people the first time in this movie theater.
That's awesome, man.
So I mean, you know what I mean? Like, but here's the deal: if I talked at a movie theater, a barbecue, or a 5-star restaurant, the talk's always going to be the same. You know, it doesn't change ever. It doesn't change. I mean, at all, anywhere in the country. Like, it's such a great skill to have. It's like I have a weapon of communication. That you could place me anywhere in an English-speaking society, and I could totally move the whole entire crowd.
And the beautiful thing about learning that dinner is it's like a core. I don't know. I visualize my talk as like that's the core talk is like right here, and everything around it is. I kept getting these businesses around my office that were like, "Hey, can you come in and speak on how to like not eat sugar during the holidays or what sugar does to your body?" And I was like, sure, you know, and then you know what I do? The core with a little bit of wrapping around it, you know, that says for just this, like after I actually do the exact same beginning of my dinner. And when I get to the part about, you know, describing about what health is, about function, you know, and I talk about, well, look, here's a great way to destroy function in your body. And that's eat a lot of sugar during the holidays. You know, sugar does this, 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 and this, but let's go back and look what controls function. And then bam, you're right back into that dinner talk and just keep rolling.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you should be able to take any talk, and it literally all it does is it changes 2 sentences in the beginning of your dinner talk.
Yep.
Right. I like that, Taylor. It's like you garnish it with a little stress, garnish it with a little ergonomics, garnish it with a little. It means whatever. Yeah.
Yep. You can fit it all in there, man. Love it. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you for a couple of announcements and anything you want to say before we close here tonight.
All right, so cool. So a couple things we'll do. First of all, if you are looking to grow and, like Dr. Tabor said, be trained by a superstar like Tabor and myself. I'm saying Tabor's the superstar. I don't need to brag about myself. I already know we do good.
You are a superstar, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. If you want to do that, just email us. You know, we're always looking for a team. You know, like Tabor said, like Tabor and I were talking about, like I'll have. You know, if we could get a really good doctor with great hands that wants to learn and they're hungry and, you know, or is willing to learn and apply, you know, we could take you guys to the top. And then if they're productive, meaning that, I mean, if that doctor could just be productive enough to, you know, literally produce their salary per month. So let's say a doctor's getting paid $7,000 a month or $8,000 a month. You know, you go out and do a talk and you get 3 patients in, at least you're covering your salary. I like Tabor and I say, we'll have 10 doctors in the office, because
Yeah.
then, a doctor needs to be a producer. So, we realize that, hey, the more doctors we can help and train, because I have seen and I have reached a level of being very embarrassed about what our schools are putting out. I have a feeling that chiropractic schools have changed so much. It's like, listen, this is the way I feel it is with chiropractic schools. It's like going to aviation school, and when you come out, you don't know how to fly a friggin' plane. And I really think a lot of chiropractors,
Mm,
and you're basically going to medical school with curriculum stuff. You know how to pass boards, you know how to get the test right. But I have been so shocked to see how many chiros coming out of school, their hands are so cold. Because I get Tabor and I, we used to adjust the crap out of everybody in
yeah.
school. You're allowed to do that. I understand. It hurts me so bad that all the students, you're being taught one thing and you're paying for all this, but the most important tool for your ability to help people is the weakest. It drives me insane. I know you have no choice. Taylor, if you and I went to chiro school, we'd be the same. We'd come
Yeah.
out knowing all this medical stuff, but we wouldn't know how to adjust people. Versus chiropractic started, what do they only do? They taught people how to adjust. So, using those hands, I know there's great instruments out there, but I really feel the need that for this profession to survive, we need some people that can move bones
Yep.
and move bones with certainty and be able to lead people through communication. And that's their skill. They don't need a fancy, shiny object. They need their voice and their certainty, and they can move mountains. And I feel that way, Tabor, right?
I agree.
So Tabor's doing more talks than I am right now, but Tabor has confidence coming in, or that doc who he was really prepared in an unprepared situation, or when Tabor went to that Rotary Club and you talked with the heart guy, I mean,
Yep.
boom, he just knew he had nothing beats having the confidence that you are really able to change people's lives but see, the thing is, you don't learn the communication and certainty part in chiropractic school, and I definitely know now you don't learn how to adjust people in school, and I cannot wrap my head around it. So if you want to get back to becoming a powerful force in the chiropractic community, contact us at just give the email, put the email right there. Or what is it?
Uh,
What's Chiro Thought Leaders?
it's Chris Zaino at chirothoughtleaders.com.
Yeah. So email
I'll
me
put it here too.
yeah, Chris Zaino at chirothoughtleaders.com. The first thing we'll have you do is we're going to have you send us a YouTube video within 24 hours. Why would we do that? One reason. I could read your mail by watching a 2-minute YouTube video. I know your certainty. I know your philosophy. I know how you can communicate. And that tells me a whole story. Don't even send your resume. I could care less. You could lie. It just does not mean anything. I don't care what school you went to. If you have a heart and you could communicate and I could see that passion in your eyes, that's what it takes to be a champion and the best friggin' person in your profession. Plain and simple. All that other stuff, really, it's not going to matter. Number two, for those docs that are in practice and you kind of have that belief system, or you've been thinking about it for so long, of the belief system that the winter months are times to kind of back off. So automatically you start getting the winter blues and you're worried about January. Between now, all of December and all of January, these are the only 2 months I'm going to do it. If you email me at Zaino at chirothoughtleaders.com, I'll open up half-hour one-on-one consultation guys for you. So you just email me. So that means is, we'll get on the phone or Skype one-on-one for a half hour. I'll send you a bunch of stuff to get questions and get kind of where your frustrations and problems are at, and your goals and aspirations. And in that half hour, I promise you, I'll be able to change your entire practice and your life in just a half hour. And if you don't feel it was worth it, I'll give you your money back. It'll just be my time. But I'm telling you, you'll be able to do it, because a lot of docs have been saying, hey, do you coach, do you consult? I'm not a coach. I told Dr. Fred the other day, I go, only if I had the passion for coaching. I'm not a coach. But you know what? I could sit down with anybody and I could wake up people who are sleepwalking. And I believe a lot of chiropractors, you may feel like you're sleepwalking sometimes. I could wake you up and connect you with your greatness immediately. And you give me a half hour, I could do it. That's all I'm asking. So you don't have to sign up for a contract with me. Just let's go on Skype for a half hour. It's going to be $500 for a half hour, because it's worth my time. I don't get that time back. And you know what? You got to be committed. So if you don't think $500, I'll give you. I automatically could get you $5,000 within next week just because of shifting your mind and giving you some great things to do. I mean, because I'll have a lot of information before we get on the call. So if you want to do that, I'm only going to have maybe 2 hours a week to do it. So 4 a week I'll be doing. Just do Chris Zaino at chiroThoughtLeaders.com. And then if there's some things that I feel if you want to learn about this stuff we're doing, tech on computers, you see what I'm saying? Or Hangouts, if you want to start doing that stuff, or spinal hygiene stuff, or internet stuff, then it's going to be the same thing with Tabor. If you say, hey, listen, I like the emails, how do you do that? That's all the tech stuff. Tabor, if you like the videos that Tabor does, if you want to talk to him about it, he could tell you the easy setup, what you need to do. He'll save you freaking tens of thousands of dollars. Then you put, you'll have those calls with Tabor. So Tabor and I Tabor has no time, just to let you know. He's got 2 offices, 3 kids, chicken with his head cut off. He does all this stuff. So, I mean, if Tabor may be gracious to have 2 hours open a week, maybe. So either of us, depending on the subject you want to learn more on, we'll be able to hook you guys up, and it'll still be straight across the board. $500 for 30 minutes. That's it. We're just doing one session at a time. There's no packages. We want to be able to make sure we can reach out to as many people as possible. We're only doing it till the end of January, so we can make sure that your December and January are huge. And just email us below. All right, Tabor, we're good, man.
Awesome. Great job, everybody. Thanks for being on tonight. Guys, we have some huge things coming for you in 2017. I can't wait to reveal some of it. We want to make sure that your practices explode in this next year. We want to try to help you as much as we possibly can. And we want all of chiropractic to hit that next level. So thanks so much for being on here live. I know you get so much more out of watching it live, but there are other chiropractors out there. So if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay as well. We'll see you guys next week. We've got some special guests coming up next week. We have actually Carla doing some training for, might even invite their CAs on that or no?
Heck yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Carla is actually going to do some training on how she does set up the dinners and do those types of things. So next week's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then the following week after that, we have a special guest as well. So just keep an eye on your inbox, and we'll send you all the information. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.